Hurry. Hello, my name is Cassandra, and welcome to my temple, your liberatory internet sanctuary. What is happening up here? I talk about like inner monologue stuff and changing the narrative so that you feel more free and more in love with life. But the honest truth is, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just trying my best. I'm just trying to express myself because I have to, or else I'll explode. So, why are you here? I don't. Is that too big of a question if we just met? I don't know anything about marketing, branding, none of that. I'm just trying to be authentic and create that maybe makes a positive impact. Do I know anything about politics? No. I just have opinions. I have opinions. That's really it. I have opinions. Just like with any art, the more you know about it, the more you understand you don't know anything. The more I've grown, the more I'm like, I don't know a goddamn thing. Why are you even here? I'm just a girl. Let me not. I know some things. Because some things have worked for me, I know I'm not living in a vacuum and I'm not so unique that nobody else. One second. So, just found out the Democrats folded. I'm sure there's a lot more to that story that I don't know about, that we don't know about. I've been thinking about the recipe for change. And yes, I know I am only one person and I'm just here with my fork. And even still, even if you're a person who does understand the necessity of change, there are always going to be some things in your life that you've outgrown that you cling on to. That's just a part of life. That's a part of growth. You are always going to want to cling on to something because you know it, even though you know you need to change. I think that's an extremely human thing. And I was thinking about the solution to that, right? Because there are so many people, especially in this country, who are not ready for change. Having experienced the pushback from people when you can see that things need to change, but they either don't want to change or they are not ready for change. Like, we have all experienced that pushback. So the question is, what is the recipe for change? How do we get people to change? And I've been thinking about it a lot because it's a question that I didn't really like the answer to. I say this all the time, but the thing I know the most is my own life experience. And what caused me to change was suffering. It was suffering. It was suffering so bad that there wasn't any other choice but to change. Things have to get bad sometimes in order for things to change. And I didn't want that answer. I didn't want that answer because I'm looking around and I'm like, well, in that case, if that's the only thing that makes people change, then humanity, then we are cooked. Unless dot, dot, dot. I don't know what that unless is. I wish I had something to maybe you guys can put it in the comments. Unless, if I know. Unfortunately, large groups of people unwilling, unready to change must suffer because there is no other, or is there? I don't know, because there might not be any other way. And of course, these are just the musings of a girl, right? Just musings of a girl. But when people aren't ready for change, and I have seen this in so many people, there is nothing you can do. We can all relate to holding on to something that we know is not good for us, or that maybe we can't see it's not good for us, but it's the only thing we know, and there is something that we're getting from it. There it is. Too many people are benefiting from capitalism to want to change it. Too many people benefit from racism, right? In America, too many people benefit from it. And that's really the mentality of these systems, is that if you can keep most people happy, nothing's going to change. Right? What am I trying to say here? I'm saying, buckle up. You know, the amount of suffering we have seen might increase. There might be more suffering. And preparing yourself for that. I'm not here to be a Cassandra. That's a lie. I am absolutely here to be a Cassandra. I was named Cassandra for a reason. And I really do my best to see the truth in things, right? To pull the wool from over my eyes and to really see humanity for what it is. And of course, take it with a grain of salt. It's just my perspective. Understanding humanity so far, we have a hard time changing. We all, who's ever watching this, I'm assuming that there is some resonance in terms of our radical nature, in terms of our desire for change. If we're on the same page about that, we have to understand that we're kind of outliers. And that's not to say we can't create change. That's not to say we're useless. None of that. But really understanding I can only change myself. I can only do as much as I can do. And this world we live in and this system is incredibly frustrating and incredibly difficult to witness. Understanding the amount of suffering that people are going through, but just learning how to deeply accept that that's just where humanity is that's just where humanity is right now. It's not my personal choice, but I'm an outlier. And I have to recognize that and accept that. And until the balance gets tipped, outliers become the majority, then we have the difficult work of witnessing humanity's disasters. None of this is normal. This is not my normal, and it will never be my normal. I will always feel like I was born in the wrong time. I will always feel like I was born in the past. I'll probably feel like that my whole life. I was born in the past, and for some reason, I'm here. I know my personal values, but I also deeply accept that I cannot change the world and make it what I want it to be, because that's not my job. I can do as much as I can to change the world in the ways that I think are good. But I don't want my motivation to be to change people's minds unless they're ready to change. And if people are ready to change, they'll hear it. They'll hear me. They'll read. They'll see things in a different way. People operate based on their own. It's a weird thing. It's a weird balance. And I think there's some maturity involved, understanding like people make their own choices. People make their beds and then they have to lay in them. It sucks that many of us have to lay in it too. But that's why taking on this responsibility for your own life is so deeply important, right? Because we can't change ourselves from the outside in. We have to change ourselves from the inside out. That's the only way it works. I will never stop believing what I believe in. I will never change my values based on other people's decisions. I will change because I evolve. I will change because it's my nature to change. But that's not everyone. And so I just want to leave you guys with this. You can't force change, but you can inspire it. And the best way to inspire change is by being the change. I know there's a lot of doom, a lot of doom mindsets, especially now. We're cooked, blah, 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 blah. We're cooked, we're cooked, we're cooked. I'm not cooked. I'm going to keep adapting to this world. Y'all can be cooked. I'm surviving no matter what. Keep doing what you need to do to fall in love with life. That's the most important thing. I don't know if there's anything else to say, really. Thanks for being patient, by the way. I've been taking a break and reassessing. I do this a lot. I take a break, I reassess, I come back with a new perspective. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Leave a little room to doubt what you believe in. There are no true believers. Well, I said a little grain of salt to every add a little grain of salt to every position, every perspective, every belief. A little grain of salt. Because it'll leave your mind open for change if you're ready for it. Right? Okay. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.